Hello and welcome to another Taekwondo lesson. In this video I'll show you how to perform a forearm guarding block and a knife hand guarding block. Forearm guarding block is one of the most commonly seen blocking positions in Taekwondo, and that's because it's used as a preparation for many exercises, for example free sparring. But it's also used for preparing before you do a special technique or a power test, for example. Now the reason why it's useful as a preparation in free sparring is because you're able to keep your body half facing the opponent and have both arms in front to protect your body. So it's a well protected position. Now unlike many blocks, the guarding block doesn't have a reaction movement where you pull the fist to the hip. In fact, the other arm moves with the block. Okay? So the front arm serves as the blocking arm and you're using the outer forearm to block with. The other arm serves the purpose to protect your chest. You bring the side fist 3 centimeters away from the ridge of your chest. Therefore, the forearm will help protect the solar plexus. So practice this action and you will notice that the fist should start a little bit up so the arms come downwards slightly. And from a side view, the arms are slightly to the side, not directly behind you, otherwise they will come round in a curve and this slows the technique down. So start slightly from the side and go diagonally downwards, more or less in a straight line. So practice this a few times. So once you've got used to that movement, you're ready to practice this technique in L stance. So adopt an L stance, which is the most common stance for this block, although it can also be done in rear foot stance. But we're going to do it in L stance, performing a middle guarding block. So start off by relaxing the body, bringing your arms into a neutral position. Your knees will bend slightly, so your body will drop slightly. And then raise the body as you prepare the arms, but don't straighten the legs fully. Then execute the technique and drop the body sharply. Now your body should be half facing. The fist will end up in line with the shoulder because it's a middle block, and the elbow will be bent 45 degrees. The blocking tool, the outer forearm, will be in line with the center of your shoulder, like that. So now you're ready to practice it as a spot block from parallel stance to L stance. So adopt a parallel stance and then bring the weight onto your balancing leg, turning the foot slightly out so you're already half facing. Keep the arms in a neutral position. As you prepare for the block, raise the body, but do not straighten the legs. Always keep them slightly bent. Raise the body and you can pivot away a little bit more and then step forward into L stance as you drop sharply to execute the technique. And utilize breath control as you finish the technique. Now, a common mistake is for people to bring their arms too high and drop them too much. You need to bring the arms back. So there's quite a bit of forward motion and slight downward motion. So now practice 10 guarding blocks going from parallel stance to L stance as a spot technique. So do 10 on each side. Hana. Tul. Set. Net. Taset. Yaset. Ilgo. Yodol. Aho. Yol. To do a knife hand guarding block is almost the same thing. The main difference is that you open the hands to form a knife hand with both hands at the end. The starting position will be almost the same thing. So it doesn't matter if you're going to use forearm and squeeze the fist or knife hand and open the hands are relaxed anyway, so more or less the same position. Another difference is that the fingertips need to end up at shoulder height because it's a middle block, whereas before you had the fist at shoulder height. So the arm will drop very slightly when doing knife hand. But the angle is still 45 degrees and the blocking tool is still in line with the center of the shoulder. this guarding hand will be 3 centimeters from your chest as before, but it's the knife hand that's in front of the ridge of the chest. Okay. So now you can perform 10 knife hand guarding blocks on either side from parallel stance to L stance. Hana, tul, set, net, taset, yaset, ilgo, yodol, aho, yol. So that's it for middle guarding block, whether it's done with a forearm or with a knife hand. You can also do high guarding blocks. The difference being, if you're doing a high guarding block with a forearm, the fist will be at eye level. And if it's done with a knife hand, the fingertips will be at eye level. But the other arm is in the same position. So middle forearm guarding block is this way, and just move the arm up for the high version. And for knife hand, it's only the front arm that changes. Now there's also reverse knife hand guarding block, and that uses a reverse knife hand where your thumb's tucked out the way. But this needs to twist this way. So the preparation is slightly different. The palm will be facing away so it can turn and face up at the end. So otherwise it will be the same as a knife hand guarding block. And we also have low guarding blocks, but they're performed slightly different to the middle and high guarding blocks. So I'll cover that in another video. Well, I hope you've learned something from this lesson and will join me for the next one coming out soon. If you haven't subscribed already, please do so. Keep up to date with my latest releases. Until then, bye.